Greetings! Welcome to Meet Me at the Table, the painting table. Here we are again, 2 times in one day. I just can't get enough painting today, so I did some this afternoon. If people were able to join, that was fantastic. A lot of people came in. It was great to see everybody. We're going to continue painting our Bloodborn miniatures again today. The reason we're doing this is because I have a special painting session set up for Sunday, and I'm going to be putting that into a schedule pretty soon. I just got to nail down a couple other things really quick, but that's going to happen. I'm pretty excited for it. We were able to paint up some of the extra miniatures from the game we're going to be playing on Bloodborne, the scenario we're going to be playing, and we're going to finish them off tonight. That is our plan, and hopefully we're going to get to the characters as well. For those of you that missed the afternoon session, we worked on, was it the emissaries, and we worked on some of the giants as well. I know I said I was going to save the giants till Sunday, but I just couldn't wait, especially when I found out some of the news. Sadly, I will tell you the news is not Bard Song. I wish it was Bard Song, but it is not Bard Song. It's going to be something a little bit different. It's a space themed game that I'm pretty excited to show off, or kind of a futuristic, I should say, game. It's not it, but I'm really excited to show it off. It's going to be, we're going to be probably doing a component overview. I don't have an unboxing of it, but because it's coming from somebody else, but I would like to show you the components of the game, so I'm going to be doing a video of that soon, and then I will be doing a painting video, and then after that we'll be doing a playthrough of it. Not a live playthrough, I'll be doing a recorded playthrough of that game to show all the different things that are going on in the game. Super excited for it. So you're going to have to watch and find out what that is coming up soon. So keep your eyes peeled. But what we're going to do here today is we're going to finish off our giants, and we're going to finish off our emissaries, and we're going to start work on the heroes. That is my goal. So first, let's take a look at, where do the cards go? I have the cards for our giant. Here he is. He is right here. Let's take a look. We're going to go to the painting camera and see what we got. So here's our giant right here. Now, while this afternoon I was painting, I was able to get a lot of this guy done for the most part. We have his sash up here, or his rope up here. We've got the bell. I need to finish off the bell. I want to make that look rusty. Then we're going to do a little bit more work on the axe. We've got his cloak, and inside here we have some bandages. I even used a little bit of this Nurgle rot. You might not be able to see it too well in here, but it kind of looks a little greasy and gooey in there, which is kind of cool. And I used some Nurgle, or some, was it Nurgle flesh, I think is the name of the paint for this area right here. And the rest of it's really all just a gray color. And this was a black wash on top of it. We're going to lighten this up with some white dry brush first. That's going to be our plan. After we do that, we're going to work on this blade a little bit. I'm going to put some blood work on the blade because after all, this is Bloodborne. Why wouldn't you use blood in the Bloodborne game, right? Oh, I'm pretty weird. All right, we're going to keep going. But let's go ahead and get some of this done and see what happens. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to take some white. White is going to be our key to victory tonight, mainly because I have a lot of cloak that I want to start doing a dry brush on. That is going to be our plan. We're going to be dry brushing a lot of white onto this thing. So I'm going to take a lot of white, put it onto my palette here. I'm just going to put a ton of it because we're going to be using a lot of it. That's going to be the plan here. So we're going to put a lot out here onto this palette, and we're just going to start dry brushing white onto these to make it look cool. For those of you that missed, we did do the emissaries. They are right here. I painted them so they have kind of a metallic finish to them, a blue metallic finish, and we did some dry brush of white onto that as well. We're going to paint onto the base here eventually. That's going to be the next thing we are going to do. We're going to get onto the base, but first we're going to do some dry brushing onto this guy. He's going to look pretty cool, I think, when we're all said and done. Of course, I do need a paper towel to wipe off the excess paint. Never leave your painting station away without a good roll of paper towels. You always want some paper towels in your painting area at all times. So we've got our paper towels, and we are going to move back down to painting, and we are going to dry brush this. So what that means, I'm going to take my little thing here. We're going to get off that extra paint, and we're going to see how it looks. We can always test on our finger thanks to a little trick yesterday. It was awesome. I'm going to get this onto here, and we're going to kind of slowly brush this on. I think that's going to be our plan. Okay, it's a little thick, and that's just fine because I do want it to kind of stand out a little bit from the dark. That's going to be the plan here. This is looking pretty good. I'm pretty excited for this. I think this is going to look really good when it's all done. I want to get this dry brush on here. So we're just, and this is my bigger dry brush, so it's kind of a little out of control sometimes, but that's okay. I would never use this on a smaller miniature. I want this on the bigger miniature. Dale, the casual gamer, it is going to see the bounty. Bounty is the quicker picker-upper, and that's exactly what I'm using. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I'm exactly using the bounty. Did I actually say that on there? Or did you just take a wild guess? Because no, it doesn't say anywhere on there, and I actually am using bounty. That's pretty awesome. Dale, the casual gamer, it's awesome to see you here. Thank you so much for joining. I hope things are going well with you. I'm super glad you're here. We're going to continue working on these guys. We're doing some Bloodborne miniatures today. We did some on Sunday, and we did some earlier this afternoon. I was pretty pumped to keep painting. I'm going to get a little more of this dry brush on. I'll show you what we've been working on here. We're going to get this white onto this back of this thing a little bit here. There we go. Just keep on putting some white onto the back of this thing. Let's get to my camera so you can see what's going on. There we go, just like that. We're just putting some dry brush on here. But while on Sunday, we worked on these guys. These guys are all done here. These guys are pretty cool looking. They are our missionary or church missionaries or church something. Sadly, I don't remember the name of them. I've got the card, so you think I would remember the name of these guys. That would be the smart thing to do, is remember the names. It's the church servant. These are the church servants. We finished these guys yesterday. That is what we did on Sunday. Then I worked on these guys a little bit on Monday. They're the emissaries, I guess, from the Bloodborne game. Again, I'm sorry, I do not know the game itself. And we started work on this guy earlier this afternoon as well as the other one. Doing well, just horrible at a game. Now here for a pick-me-up. Good, I'm glad you're here for a pick-me-up. This is a great place to get a pick-me-up because I will always pick people up. Maybe, I don't know. I have an electric car, so I can't go too far, though. Otherwise, I'll run out of electricity. I wouldn't be able to pick too many people up. We're going to keep painting. We're going to keep painting. We're going to keep getting this white onto this guy here. I want to kind of really get this white onto him. That's actually really good. I've got a lot of paint on that, and that's actually really good. I want it to look like that. That's going to be awesome. Because after we get this white on, we are going to start making it look ratty. That's going to be our plan. So let's get some more of this white onto this thing, just straight down. Up on top. Straight here. There we go. Get it into this area here. We're just going to keep on going. That's the plan. Put some white over there. Have you used textured base material? How much? How does it hold up after being stored in normal boxes? I've never used it. That is a great question, Dale. That is a great question. This is that textured paint. I did use it on this guy. I use it on a lot of my minis. I use it on we painted up the Madara mini the other day, and I have this. I used that textured paint. I like the textured paint a lot. It's just, again, one step to get stuff done instead of having to put sand on a base, things like that. It just gets it down there, gets it done, and while it's still drying, you can put on things like tufts of grass. So that's just not even glued on there. It's put on right with the paint. It worked out pretty good. I'm going to get my church guy out of there so you can actually see this. I don't have any problem with it chipping off inside containers. I don't know. I haven't had much of an issue. Now I think about it, I'll just say that. I have not had much of an issue with it. It seems to work out okay. So far, so good, as I would say. So far, so good. Let's get a little more white onto this guy here. There we go. Right along his face as well. His face needs quite a bit because his face is more of a white color to it, but that's okay. There we go. And white is kind of a bolder color I'm using on this, but that's okay. I think it'll be fine. I use Vallejo Earth Texture. I haven't tried the Vallejo stuff. I haven't tried the Vallejo stuff yet. I didn't even know they had it now that I know about it. I have a bunch of the G-Jumper texture paints too, though interesting stuff. Yes. Thanks. You get back to painting. I'll let you get back to painting. Oh, Dale, I am going to be painting and chatting all night. Okay, we're not all night. Got a couple hours. We'll see how this goes. All we're doing is working on these church miniatures here, or I should say church giants. We're gonna get these guys up to snuff here. That's the plan, and then I'm really excited. See, what I want to do is I want to do this again. I'm really excited for how well this bottom turned out on this guy, and I'm gonna plan to redo that again with this guy. I think it's gonna be really cool. We're gonna do that down here on some of this. I think we're gonna make it look really. That's my goal at least. Oh, I got it. See now, look out here. Look at here. I was doing some wash and I didn't notice there was some pooling, so I got a lot of black wash in there, and that's too bad. But it'll be okay. Everything's gonna be all right. Right. All right. I think that guy's pretty good with the white. Let's move on to the next one. We got this guy. This guy's our next guy here. We'll get him all painted up. We'll see how this goes. There we go. And put some on the brush and then go to town here. There we go, right down. And I'm just, of course, hitting just the parts that are sticking up is all that's going to be hit by this. So it'll be really nice when it's all done. And just go back and forth with the brush, up and down on this thing, just like that. Kind of blend it in a little bit. And there we go. Go back and forth on this, just like that. Dry brushing is super easy. Anybody can do it. You just need to make sure you got the paint on the brush, but just a little bit, and then you just kind of streak it down, and wherever there's a ridge, it will catch. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. I'm going to have to pick up some. I might try out that Vallejo texture you're talking about. Do you like the Vallejo texture better than the GW paint, or is it just a different feel? What do you think there, Fatal Paper Cut? Different feel, or is it actually a really better product? Be interesting to know what you think. Saw some cool effects by painting the base, then putting some texture paint on it, and waiting for the paint to crack, revealing a paint underneath. Saw some cool lava and poison effects away. I actually did do that. I have that paint. Oh my gosh, now I gotta find it. I gotta find that paint. We're gonna play Find the Paint. We're gonna find the paint. I think it was this one. I don't know. I believe actually it's discontinued, the paint that I originally used. It was something similar to this. Let's see if I can show you. It was something similar to this. I used this on my Retributors when I was playing these originally came out. If you really glop this one on, or something was similar to this, it was like a desert one. It would crack, and so I did paint like the bases blue and red, and then wherever it cracked, we could actually see the blue and red on it, which was pretty neat. It was really cool. Yeah, Vallejo stuff also comes in large jar and has a few colors. I mainly use the brown earth for most things and dark earth for mud. That makes sense. Watching wrestling and hanging at the painting table. Love it. Love it. Good to have you here. Thank you for joining. We are just going to be working on these church miniatures that we were working on earlier this afternoon. We are continuing to make these look great. I want to get the Bloodborne stuff done so that we can do special painting on Sunday, and then we'll do a live play of Bloodborne on Monday. That is the plan. In order to do a live play, of course, you have to have painted miniatures. So we're dry brushing this white onto here so he can be done. Well, not done because I want to do more, but we're going to get some white on it first, and then we're going to go from there. We're going to go all across his face here. I'm not going to do the hat. I'm not going to do the hat. I want to leave the hat the way it is. But I do want to get the rest of his cloak here, though. I want to get the rest of the cloak. Is the deal. There we go. Need some more white. It applies more or less similar to the stuff you've been basing with so far. Okay, so it is very similar. Thank you very much for the update. Good to know. Good to know. So now I know if I can go maybe to give it a shot once I run out of the GW stuff, but for now I'll probably just keep using the GW stuff that I got. Because it'd be cool to try out different things. I honestly didn't even know Vallejo made those. So that's really cool to know. Thank you for telling me. Good to know. Good stuff. There we go. I was like, why isn't there enough white on my brush? Now there's enough white on my brush to get what I want. There we go. Even though you can't always get what you want, right? That's Rolling Stones, I think, for our brain. Might be wrong. There we go. Okay, that guy's thing's done. We got him pretty good. There we go. There we go. That guy's done. Let's see. We got the next guy here. Let's see how he looks. He's got... See, sadly, when I went over with the Null and Oil this time, it actually really got more dark than I was hoping it would be. So, sadly, that's what happened. Let's see. We'll do this guy first. Let's see how this guy looks. These are guys from my most recently washed guys, so... They might still be dry. We'll see how this goes. I think they'll be okay. Just gonna slowly go down on it like that, so we get just the paint in the on the things that are sticking up on his cloak. That's the deal. Now I'm gonna go a little bit harder because I want it to kind of get a little bit more than what's on just this inside of the cloak. There we go. That looks great. Perfect. I like all this texture stuff nowadays. Used to just pour sand, small rocks, and black paint and used it as a texture. Yes. It used to be this, like, I think that's one of the things that has really innovated as time's gone on in the painting industry is they're finding things that used to take us a lot of steps and making less steps for us, which is really, it's all about time saving. If you can paint more miniatures in a less amount of time, then you're saving yourself time. You're playing more, right? You're doing more of playing the actual game. May it be a war game, or may it be a skirmish game, or just a board game in general. So it is pretty cool that a lot of these time-saving devices are becoming available to us. For example, the contrast paints, the speed paints from Army Painter. Now, and of course the textured paints and all these different. I'm going to be showing you a Blood for the Blood God here pretty soon, which is a technical paint, which is really cool. Blood was a pain in the butt to try to paint on before. Now it's really cool and it's really easy and really fast because, of course, everybody said I don't like how to try to paint blood, so they went, let's figure out how to do that, and ta-da! They figured out how to do it. So super cool. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Haha, you are reading my language. I love it. Or hearing my language, or reading my lips, or something like that. I need more white. I'm just going through white today like it's going to style, and that's okay. I've got a lot of white, and I got a lot of style, so we're good to go. How about that, huh? Never thought I'd say that to myself, but all right, there's a lot of white on that, and that's good. All right, this should really get the rest of this pretty good here. Just going to lightly go over it first, all over. Lightly get it, because I have most paints on it right now. Most of your paint is on your brush right now from dry brushing. So I go kind of a little bit lighter than I would normally do it. But as we go, we're going to keep on going now. We're going to get a little bit, I'm going a little bit harder on this thing. I'm putting a little bit more stress on the miniature with the upward and downward strokes. Perfect, just like that. Awesome. That actually looks fantastic. And get some down here, just like that. And right up in here. There we go. Perfect. Boom. That's awesome. Love the guy's little hat. I know, he's got a little hat, doesn't he? That's pretty good. I guess technically there's no sense to kind of a job. You're right. You're probably right. It's probably a straight up hat. It's just on this super big dude. That's the deal here. You're exactly right. I don't know if it's the hat or if it's the guy. That's disproportionate here. I think it's the guy. It's disproportionate to the hat, for sure. Let's get the top of his cape now. This white. There we go. And we're going to get in his face here. I really want to get his face real good. That's pretty good. We're going to get the top of this. Just kind of white it a little bit. I'm just trying to, and I'm also trying to mute how dark that is. So that's why I'm also painting the white on almost everywhere. Pretty tough too. It's because I want to kind of mute the color that I used here. Because I used a little bit too dark of a wash, and I didn't like it. So we're trying to mute it with this white. That's the deal. That's the other thing we're using the white for. I'm going to get in there a little bit, get in here a little bit. Though it's not really going to matter in there. I don't really care about in there. I just care about the outside. There you go. Perfect. Good stuff. All right, one more. One more, and we're done with the dry brushing of the white. Whew! A lot of dry brushing right away in the morning, or in the evening here. All right, get a little bit more white. There we go. Okay, my white is starting to turn pretty terrible here. See what I can do with it, though. See what happens. Nope, I think it's still okay. All right. Nope, not okay. It's really wet. I don't like that. So my white Vallejo white, or not my Vallejo, my Army Painter white has started to liquefy for some reason. I'm going to have to stir this paint up, I think. Yeah. It's really wet right now. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to mix this up. I'm going to do something. We're going to take this paint off. We're going to take off this topper here. I'm going to take my paper towel here and lift this up. And I don't know, now I need to mix this up. This isn't coming out as good as I was hoping it would. So we're going to mix this up with our little brush here. Take our brush, get it in there. And some people have mixing sticks. Mixing sticks are really good. I don't have a mixing stick. I just have a mixing brush stick is what I got here. So we're just going to mix that paint up. And that means you're going to lose some of it because, of course, I'm using it to mix it like that. But I'll show you what it was coming out like, and then I will switch, hopefully, to it coming out the right way now. That'll be the plan. All right. Well, now my hand's all white. That's a given. I'm going to take this paper towel. We're going to throw this paper towel out. I don't need this paper towel anymore. It's full of white paint. Let's get a new one. New brush. Here we go. We got one right here. All right. Just like that. See how easy it is? Always have those paper towels handy. Always have them handy. So, I don't know if you can see this. We'll see if we can get this in the shot here. But my white paint was starting to come out Very liquidy, and I don't like it. I see how it's just ripping off of there. Yuck. That's no good. That's not paint. That's yuck. Sometimes it happens with paint, so you got to mix it up. So now we got this guy all mixed up. Now I'm going to put some more out here, and I'll bet it comes out a lot better now. Almost. Now it still feels like it's kind of like ketchup. There we go. Okay, so I got the little bit left that was in there. That was all liquidy. And now we've got what I want. We've got what I want. We'll go back to this now. Hopefully this will work now. Yeah, that's better. We're just going to lightly do it first. Up here, yep, that looks pretty good. We're going to kind of keep coming down a little bit with it, lightly. We're going to go up lightly. And after we go up with it, then we're going to switch to the downstrokes again, and we're going to go back and forth a little bit. And there we go, look at that. That looks pretty good. It's okay if it's a little whiter. That's good stuff. Ah, Minnesota Jason Frost. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. We are painting Bloodborne tonight. I'm excited to get this back to the table. It's been too long. It's been too long. It's nice to see you. Thank you for joining us at the painting table. Thank you, Jason. It's good to see you. I hope all is well. I hope all is well. It is finally spring here in Minnesota. Though, again, we are having fake spring part 3. I think we've had like 3 fake springs in a row. I think it's supposed to get cold and dreary again the next few days. We had a nice 50 or 60 degree weather, the Fahrenheit. For those of you in Europe, we use Fahrenheit because why not? And so, of course, it's going to get cold again right before Easter. But it's supposed to get a little bit better then, I think. That's the deal. Yep, snow in a few days. Blasphemy! No more snow. No more snow. I put away all the kids' snow gear. It can't snow again. Can't snow again. We just put away all the snow gear. We said we're going to take a chance. We're going to take a chance and put it all away. Maybe it was too early. It was too early to put the snow gear away. But there, that guy looks good too. He's done. Perfect. We got all the dry brushing done. Perfect. Snow. Blech. Had enough snow. We're done with snow. Put it all away. We cleaned out the garage this weekend so it looks nice. I don't need more snow. No more snow in a few days. I don't even know what clothes to wash anymore. Pants, shorts, long sleeves. The weather just doesn't know what it feels like. That is very, very true. Oh my gosh, that's very true. Oh, thank you, Jason. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for your kind donation. It is amazing. Thank you always, because the healthcare never pays us much. This is true. We do our best and we live with what we got. That is for sure. I appreciate what you did. It is always fun to have you on, and thank you so much for the love and support. It is always appreciated. Thank you so much. Thank you. We are continuing though. Check this out. We are making these church servants, or church giants. We are making these church giants look good. Did I show you my celestial emissaries? I did these this afternoon. These I did this afternoon. Check these guys out. These guys I'm pretty excited about. I used I tried to use a metal kind of paint. I used a blue metal on them to make them look kind of celestial, and then I used a white dry brush on it to make it look kind of cool. That's what we did. And we did these guys, I'm super impressed by. These guys look awesome. These are our church servants. I don't know if you've seen these. Look at these guys. Oh my gosh, these are amazing. These guys turned out so well. I think it's one of my better miniatures I've ever painted in my life. All the things, if you've ever had a moment in your life where everything you try to do on a miniature, you step back and afterwards go, oh my gosh, that works so good. That's so good. I'm so excited. So yeah, this is how this guy turned out. I'm really excited for how well these guys, and they all look like this, all 4 of them. All 4 of those guys look exactly the same. Everything on that I tried on it worked perfectly. It was absolutely amazing. It's very hard to have that happen. Usually, there's always something that goes wrong. Like for this one, I would say what went wrong is the black wash I put on was a little bit too much. It was too much black wash. We had to do this white dry brush. So hopefully it'll be okay once everything's done and good. That's the deal. Bloodborne games look awesome more than Dark Souls. I have actually never played the games, but I got back into them because of Elden Ring. I've got back into the board game. Because of it. I've been playing Elden Ring a ton. I've gotten through 3 of the bosses. I really enjoy that game, even though it can be punishing at times. It's really, really fun. Thank you. I'm glad you think they look great. They're a lot of fun. Vallejo makes a weird color shifting airbrush paint line. Those alien things would look awesome in it. Oh, I didn't know that. Vallejo always has like a unique set of paints, like things I would have never thought of. They try, which is really cool with Vallejo. They worked out rather nicely on the Emissary too. It gives it sort of a glowing effect. That was my goal. I think it was you, T. Clark, that told us what they actually are. I don't even know anything about this game, so I didn't know what these guys did. And didn't you say they glow in the game or something? So yeah, I did my best to try to get them to make them glow a little bit here. That's what I did. I used Space Wolf Gray, and then I put that my famous metal median in it to give it kind of that glow look. That was my plan. So I think they turned out okay. We're going to get some basing material on this tonight. It's one of the things. But first we got to finish the church giants. I know I said I was going to wait to do these, but I started working on them this afternoon, and we're still going with these. I did some, what did we do? We did some yellow down here. We put some green in here, which is pretty cool. I even used some of the Nurgle rot. I'm not sure if you can see it in there. You can kind of see it kind of reflecting in there. This Nurgle rot. I put inside some of the bandages. It's really kind of cool. Yo, I love your enthusiasm. Thank you so much, Maruccio. Thank you. So much fun. I love it. Are used all Foundry paints. They're a company in England. They're amazing products, and then I also use Game Color Vallejo. I've never heard of that one. Foundry paints. I will have to take a look at it. Do they have them at the source? Because that's where I go to get a lot of my paints. I checked out. There's a store near me called the Battleground Cafe that has like a mini line of GWs, but if I ever go for paints, it's always to the source. So I'm not. If they're there, that's really cool. I'll have to check it out. I need some metal medium. Yes, everybody needs metal medium in their paint collection because you can turn any color into metal, and that's awesome. That is one of my favorite things. You make me want to set up a miniature painting station. You should. I got one set up just like this. This is my miniature painting station. I'm going to move my camera a little bit. Here's my mini painting station. It's got all my paints and all my brushes. These I got from a long time ago. That I'm thinking that's like years and years ago. But I think it was like only 3, maybe even 3 years ago. I'd say I've got these things at when I went to Gen Con. I picked them up from who is it? Broken Token. They make these things, and I'm glad I bought them there because I didn't want to pay any of the shipping. It's always a lot to kind of ship this kind of stuff around. So it was really cool to get these and be able to assemble them. It holds all my paints really well. It holds all my what do you call them? I have an entire army painter line, and I have some of the contrast or paints from GW. So it's really cool. This workbench was actually here when I bought the house, so I got pretty lucky on that. So it works out. It holds all my paints, all my everything. And we got another one over here that holds some of my weird paints. These are all my technical paints. My dry brush paints are over in this area. That's my deal here. So that's just a little panoramic of my thing. And of course, the painting station is always an absolute mess. I clean it about every Friday or Saturday. I usually do a cleanup of back here. But until then, everything just keeps collecting until it's clean time. Saturday is always clean day. Once it's clean day, then it all kind of goes back and we start again. That's the deal. No Foundry is only online. Okay, they'll also make their own line of miniatures, all metal, fantastic stuff. They have their own Gamerlin, too. They have an amazing Wild West mini game. How many other war games? Huh, interesting. So I will have to check that one out online. I will check it out when I get a chance. It is called it's called Foundry. Foundry is the name. I'm going to check that out. Maybe I'll get some of those. I was also hoping to get some of those Armory Painter Quick Paint ones coming up soon. I'm hoping that maybe I can get some of those for Sunday. I may stop by the source if they're there and see if I can get some. If they're not there, then I'm not going to get them, and we won't have them on Sunday. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, let's see what we got to do here. We have a few things we have to do. One of them is we got to use this Raza Rust. Now, in case people missed Sunday night, I've got this Raza Rust. This stuff's awesome, but it only works when you paint it on after the... What is it? Where'd it go? Nope, it's not there. See, this is the problem. All your paint's all over the place and you can't find what you're looking for. Let's see if we can find it. We need to find what goes with it. Is it behind my water cup? No, it's not behind my water cup. It's not my Plague Bearer flesh. It is... Maybe I put it back. Did I actually put it back? Because that would be smart. Nope, I didn't put it back. That would have been smart. Nope, maybe it's over here. Black Templar. Nope, that's Black Templar. Well, anyway, there's another paint. I will find it. I promise you. I will find this paint and I'll show it to you. Oh, it's in the... it's in Ryan's painting booth that he sent me. Pretty cool here, huh? Typhus Corrosion. You have to paint that first. Sorry, I have to say gaming line. I'm using the voice to type because I'm lazy tonight. Oh, you crack me up. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. They have their own gaming line. Not Gamelin, huh? Oh, that's pretty awesome. That's amazing. But we're going to take a really small brush. This one. We're going to use this one. I want a really fine brush to do this. Now, this is Raza Rust is a dry brush paint, so it's not going to ever come out. And you have to paint the other stuff on first. You have to paint this stuff on first. Once you paint the typhus corrosion on, you let it dry, it turns into this. It's just this like brown. Yuck. But what it has some texture in it. It does have some texture in it. So when you go over with the Raza Rust now, I'm going to put a little bit on my brush here, but it's a dry brush, so we're going to have to, again, get most of it off of here. When I go over this stuff, it's going to look like it's rusty. Look how cool that is. Is that not the coolest thing ever? This is one of the coolest things. Oh my gosh. So good. So we're going right over this bell with this to make it look rusty. And I'm also going to put it on the chain here a little bit if I can. Probably not going to be able to get it on the chain without getting it on the guy's shirt or chest or whatever that is. So we're just going to put it on the bell, I guess. But that's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome stuff. I found a really good deal on a new copy of Conan made by Monolith Games. It's supposed to be here Wednesday. Conan, I've heard about that game. I did not. That I think it was a Kickstarter. I did not back that. I don't know why I didn't back it. I think that was back when I was first starting to play games, and that was one of the, or not play games, but first time I was starting to back games, and I really only had a game group. I didn't have a channel or anything, so I didn't really know what I was going to do with it if they didn't like it, so I don't think I backed it. You have to tell me what you think of the game when you get it. What do you think of it? I haven't had a chance to play it. I think I watched a few videos. I think I even watched the video during Kickstarter on it, but I didn't get a chance to. It's Monolith Games. What else did they do? Oh, I can't remember. All right, we're going to get this spell now next. Get this bell with this. Look at this stuff. This stuff's so cool. It really makes this stuff pop out there. So we got a rusty bell. Super cool rusty bell. We got a non-rusty bell. And then we're going to have a rusty bell. But you have to put that typhus corrosion on first to really make this stuff come alive. That's the deal. Oh, looks so cool. Love it. Love it. I ordered Pandemic Reign of Cthulhu. Supposed to arrive on Thursday. Oh, Reign of Cthulhu. You'll have to tell me how that is. I haven't even heard of that one. I haven't played that one at all. Oh, that's the best Pandemic game that I've tried. I'm curious about the new World of Warcraft one. Oh, the new World of Warcraft one I think is supposed to be pretty good. I want to say Colin did a playthrough on One Stop. I think he did a playthrough of it. He said it was really fun. He played with his kids. They really liked it. So it was really fun. And of course, I go, oh, so you've played World of Warcraft? He hasn't played World of Warcraft. Colin, I think the last video game Colin ever played was none. I think maybe he played Beat Saber. He's not a video gamer, so he's never played World of Warcraft. He doesn't really know much about World of Warcraft, so it's kind of funny that he loved that Rise of, was the Lich King, I think is the name of the Pandemic one, but he did say it was really fun, and he had a great time playing it. So that is a plus. So if you don't even know the IP and he's loving it, that's one thing. If he didn't do the playthrough, I know he did play it, and I know he played it with his kids, and I know he played it by himself, and he had a really good time playing it. That's about all I know about that game. Sadly, I don't know much more. We're gonna get down here and do some more painting on the table. Monolith does some of the stuff that the stuff Mythic did, or something like that. Okay, that makes sense. I'm desperately searching for a copy of Pandemic Liberia. That won't cost me an R. Yeah, that's the problem. Sometimes when games go out of print, it's really tough. I think they did a Conan, maybe, or a Batman. I'm not sure. They did the Joan of Arc game. Yes, they did. And they did Solomon Kane, and I have that game. I painted up some of the miniatures. Those miniatures were a ton of fun as well to paint. The giant, huge things. Those what do you call them? The virtues. The virtues. Oh my gosh, barely remember the name. Too many games and too many names. The virtues are really, really fun to paint. I had a blast painting those up. Those were a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And not to mention, it gave me some great minis that I could use in my Dungeons and Dragons campaign. A lot of commoners. A lot of, and then even Solomon Kane's a cool guy to have in my D&D game. All right, they're all done. That's awesome. I'm going to wash this dry brush off because I want to get that orange out of there. I normally wouldn't, well, I guess I could. Normally I wash my dry brushes, but if I'm thinking there might be a chance I use it later, I don't want to try to get it too wet, but I don't want that orange on there. It's we're going to get rid of that. But those guys are done with that. I do need to hit it with snakebite leather, because when I was dry brushing all the white, it really kind of messed up my cord here. So I want to get the cord darker again. So we're going to take a little brush here, take my snakebite leather, which is one of the greatest paints of all time. And we're going to just kind of paint it right across here. And just darken up that cord again. There we go. That cord's darkened. Let's get the next one. This one's not too bad. I'm just going to darken up a little bit here. There we go. Get the next guy. This is just, I just like doing this. This is a nice little assembly line painting job here. You just get all the parts done that you want to get done and just move on to the next part. And assembly line painting is so much nicer when you're not painting 122 night goblins and you're just doing like 4 miniatures, which is kind of nice. I never played an army that only had like 4 miniatures. I wish I did. That'd have been a smart plan. What's your best strategy when you are dry brushing to remove the chalky look? That's a great question. Chalky look. If you could expand on that a little bit, that would be great. Trying to think of what you mean by the chalky look. I'm sorry, I'm a little lost there, Mr. Kazi Freak. Chalky look. Trying to think of a miniature. It might have some chalky look on it. Let's see here. Does this guy have a chalky look to it? I don't think so. You mean for the primer or from a ink, or where are we getting the chalky look from? That'd be good to know. That'd be good to know. I'm still trying to find the core box Solomon Kane. I did find the American expansion super cheap online, so I grabbed it. Good plan. I actually only have the core game with the stretch goals. That's it. I didn't get the rest of it because I wasn't sure I was going to like it, and it's fun. I haven't played through it all, so I still have that. That's a good thing. Have a great night. I am off to the hay. Jason, it was awesome to have you here as always. Please stop back anytime. It's always fun to see you. Great to hear from you. Another Minnesotan in here. Awesome to see Minnesotan. Oh, we'll have to meet up sometime. That'd be sweetness. Anyway, you have a wonderful night. Thank you again for the donation. It was amazing. Amazing as always. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you again soon. It'll be lots of fun. When I dry brush a large area, it chalks up more than small details. Okay. Maybe there might be too much paint on the brush. That's the only thing I can think of. But I'll show you what I did just a little while ago. Here, we just finished up dry brushing these guys. Of course, it's on camera, so it might be a little bit hard to see. But this was really dark, and I did a dry brush just to kind of bring up the textures on these. And so it used to be pretty dark. It used to be almost as dark as this right here, all the way around the miniature. So I did the dry brush and try to get this up. I don't know if that's helping at all with your question. I could be failing you. Here's another. This one kind of got a little bit out of control on the white, as you can tell. But I'm okay with it because it still looks okay, and we're going to be doing some other things to this cloak anyway. So I'm okay with it. I don't know if any, like I said, not sure if any of this is helping at all. But some of these we've already did do some dry brushing on, and just to kind of tone down the black that we had going on. I didn't like it all. We also did some dry brushing on this guy too, but it was just a small little bit on his head. He just needed a little bit on his head. That was all we did on him. What are we going to do next? We have an axe. We have to put some blood on the axe. We also got to do the cape. I think I'm going to do the cape. Cape is next. That's going to be the plan. What are we going to do for the cape? We're going to do what we did with this guy because it turned out super, super sweet. Super sweet. I'm super excited for that. So we're going to do that again. What I did is I used this desert yellow. It was the first color we used. And we dry brushed that onto the bottom of the cloak. Starting at the bottom and going up a little bit. And we're going to go all around the miniature. And I'm going to shut my paints this time. Anybody watched the afternoon stream, I managed to spill some on myself. That was awesome. We're just going to take that. We're going to get some of that off the brush. We're going to leave actually quite a bit on. I kind of want to keep a lot of it on here. So look at this. There's going to be a lot of mud all over this, all over the bottom of this thing. And we're going to have a lot of the mud at the bottom. We're just going to really soak this with mud. At least that's what I'm envisioning this as being, like a mud. So now that we got that to there, I'm going to brush even more of it off so that it becomes more of a dry brush on it now. So now we're getting more of a dry brush on this as opposed to just a full-on paint mode there. And we're going to go up about that high. That's going to be our plan. Now I do kind of want to just make it so I'm going down with it. I don't want to go across too much because I don't want to get it in here. I want it to look like the mud is coming up into these ridges. I don't want it to actually sit into the model, but I do want it down here quite a bit. So there we go. We got a lot of the mud on the back. Now we got to do on the inside here. I don't know how we're going to do this without ruining a lot of stuff. That's going to be the tricky part. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the back of all these capes first with this big brush. And then we're going to come back to the front of it. So I'm going to get the paint on my brush. We're going to go to the next guy. Now again, we're just going to brush a little bit off of here so we kind of still kind of stays thick on the bottom here. That's going to be our plan. I want it thick on the bottom. And then as we go up, we're going to get some of the paint off. Now I don't even have enough paint on that. Might not have enough left on that palette over there, or on my little paint thingy. Okay, that's looking a little bit better. Here we go. And now we're going to go up a little bit, and now we're going to be more of a dry brush here. So now we're going to just kind of touching a little bit. But I still want to get a lot of the paint down here, so I'm actually digging it in at the bottom. Really digging into that miniature. But up on the top parts here, I'm kind of going a little bit less liberal. There we go, just like that. And we've got thick stuff down here at the bottom. There we go. Looks like it's been dragged through the mud. And mud's been coated all over this. Painting Bloodborne? Nice. Didn't realize you picked this up. I have had this game. This game is awesome. I've had this game for a while. I need to get back to this game is what I need to do. I have not played this game in a long time. I haven't played it since it came out. So I've been having my copy sitting here, is collecting dust. It's time to get these miniatures painted and put back on the channel. We're going to be doing a live play of this next Monday. That is the plan. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a Monday afternoon playthrough. It's going to be sweet. We're going to start probably at, maybe 9:30 is my goal. And we're going to play until we die, or we make it through at least the first chapter, or maybe we'll get into the second chapter. We'll see how it goes. We might even get through the whole thing. We'll see. We could. We'll see how it goes. But right now we're painting up the last of these guys here. We have a lot of them already painted up. Dan, you missed the... I did the emissaries. These guys are all painted. I painted them with like this metallic, like gray wolf stuff. Pretty cool. Mixed a couple things together. And then I painted the church dudes here. These guys are great. I've already said that this is probably one of my favorite miniatures I've ever painted in my life. Can't believe he came out as good as he did. I'm super stoked for that guy. And now we're painting these big guys. That's what we're painting now. And again, I want it really thick at the bottom. Really thick at the bottom. I want it almost to cover the gray like it is. And then I want to get it lighter up on top here. That's be the plan. There we go. And that's almost a little bit too light. I want to get a little bit more paint on that. But now I want to make sure I start down here again before I go too high up, because I don't want to smear a lot of the big paint up in there, the thick paint. There we go. That's looking pretty good. I think that's looking good. Hope I got enough. We'll see. Hopefully it's high enough. I think I want a little bit more. A little bit more over on the side here. There we go. There we go. All right, that looks pretty good. All right, that looks pretty good in the back. Okay, that one's done. Last one. Here we go. Last one. Sweet. Looks great. Thank you very much, Dan. Glad. Hello again. Morga Knight, you are here. Thank you so much for joining. This is awesome. Everyone's day went well. My day went well. I painted all day, pretty much. Okay, I didn't paint all day. I painted until the family came home, then they went to bed, and I'm painting again. Because I'm having so much fun painting these miniatures. We're going to finish almost all this night. That is the plan. Because I got special plans on Sunday. Special painting plans on Sunday. I've got them in the works. It's going to be sweetness. I'm excited to show you everything that's coming. It's going to be pretty cool. I'm still impressed how well the source lighting came out on the church servants. Yeah, it actually didn't. I didn't do too bad on that. I didn't ruin them real bad. Thank you, T. Clark. Thank you. Thank you so much. We're going to go back down, work on this thing now. Again, it's really thick at the bottom, and I've kept the paint on there really thick. I barely even dried any of it off on that paper towel. But now we're going to start going up with it. Again, just keeping it thick down here, but now I'm going to start doing the dry brush here. Then my sub pump's going to kick off, so you can't hear me more probably. That's my favorite part about my basement. Sub pump should go outside, but it's not. It's in my basement. That's amazing. We're going to get some more mud on the back here and all the way over to the side. There we go. And we're going to get it up into the top here. There we go. I think that's going to be pretty good. Just like that. There we go. Boom. All right. All right. Those are all done with that. But we are not done yet. What did I use last time? Now I got to remember what. See, this is one thing. If you find something that works really well, you should always write it down. I never do. I think we went with Monster Brown next. I think it was the next color we went with. So we're going to get some Monster Brown. We're going to use this. This is only going to go up a little bit. Now, I'm not brushing off this brush or anything. I'm just using the same brush. We're just going to go straight onto this paint. That's the deal here. Now, this one I'm going to wipe quite a bit of it off. But again, we're going to start at the bottom and really kind of soak it in there quite a bit. But now this time I'm not going to go too far up here. I'm just going to kind of touch a little bit here and there, just like that. So you still kind of see a little bit of transition. And we're going to get a little bit more down here, and we're going to kind of go up a little bit, but not a ton. Let's see here. Is that what I do with this guy? Let's take a look. Did I use that? I think I did. Yeah, that's the one I used. Was this brown? Okay. We're going to use the next guy. One almost dropped from the floor. That'd be fantastic. Again, we're going to gob it on the bottom, and then we're going to kind of just dry brush it up. Dry brush it up, just like that. There we go, and then just kind of hit it a little bit. There you go, good. Perfect. There's not much transition here, but that's okay, because the main deal is coming at the end here. Last one. Oh no, we just got another one after this. We're just going to gob it up at the bottom, and just kind of dry brush it up on the top a little bit, but really gob it in the bottom. I need more of the paint. Right here. There we go. That should be good. Gob it up. Gob it up. My day was exhausting. Spent the whole day cutting and installing cement boards and a floor. Installing cement boards and for a floor. Oh, yuck. That doesn't sound fun. But hey, you got it done. Now you're able to relax and enjoy the rest of the night. That's the best part. I'm going to get this a little more brown down there at the bottom. I like how that turned out. There you go. There, that's good. Okay, I got one more. This guy again. Lots of brown at the bottom. Lots of brown. It's almost like I'm just painting it again. So I'm just kind of wondering why I painted over in the first place. But in theory, there's always like tones going in here. Okay, now we got that one on. Now it looks kind of cool. But the crowning achievement is going to be this. I'm going to be adding in some chaotic red now. Chaotic red. We're going to add this in, but just a little bit. Just enough to make it look awesome. And that's the deal. This is a pretty dark paint, so we're just going to get the very bottom here. And just around it. To give it this look. It's got the look. Not she, it. Look at that. Oh, that looks amazing. Pretty excited about that. I'll even get it a little bit up in here. There we go. So it's kind of drugged through some like bloody mud. That's kind of what I'm going with here. Let's see if I can keep it going on this side. Let's see here. Yeah, looks pretty good. It kind of looks like it's been drugged through some kind of bloody mud. At least that's what I'm going for. I think that'll look pretty good. Big miniatures, topple fast and topple hard. There we go. Do I have enough to get done with this one? I think I got enough to kind of get this one done too. I'm gonna get up down in there and bring it up into this area, over here, and down over there. Maybe too much on that one. That's okay. That's okay. He went through a big puddle of mud. Big puddle of bloody mud. Let's see here. There we go. Keep it going. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. There we go. I think that'll look okay on the back. I think it's okay on the back there. That's just dirty enough, Barrett. Looks perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Dan. Trying to make it dirty just for you. Dirty miniatures in Bloodborne. That's the deal. Now, I am really going to have to wash this brush off. This brush needs a lot of water. I'm just actually taking this thing and grinding it in there because it's a dry brush, so it really doesn't matter. It doesn't have to ever form a point again. I'm just going to try to get... Look, I got it all clean. Good. Now we're going to get this all dried off. I'm not going to use this, though, for the inside. So I'm just going to dry it off and we're going to set it aside. This is my big miniature dry brush. Big miniature dry brush. We're going to take a smaller dry brush and go on the inside. I got this one right here. We're going to use this one. We'll see if we can do it. Our goal, again, is we're going to do that brown kind of right in here. Brown right in here. Brown right through here again. And then we're going to darken it up and then we're going to get that red. That's going to be the plan. Let's see how we do. Whew. I'm a lot into this here. Okay, start with this. Sadly, there's still some paint from the other paints on here, but they're probably going to dry out before I get to them. That's okay. Now we want a lot of it kind of on the bottom here. So here we go. I'm just kind of dabbing it in there for now, and we'll spread it around once you get to this point. There we go. Let's gotta get some dry brush action going on this thing. There we go. If we get on the there, he's got some type of chains, and I'm not too worried about hitting them with this because, you know, the chains might get a little dirty. That's just the deal. So we're getting all this in here. We're going to go over to this side now and start working on this side. I'm just going back and forth on it this time, and now I'm going to go up and down. Trying to get that. I don't have enough on there. I want to go high enough so that when I bring in the other two colors, it actually looks like those other two colors are doing something. Right? That's the deal. Like, I really want this to be a lighter brown. There we go. I think that'll be good. How much did I go? I didn't even go that high on this side. So let's just kind of add it a little bit more over here. There we go. Just like that. How'd I go over here? Ah, looks okay. There we go. Just like that. That'll be good. My favorite part of these painting streams is watching Barrett refine and experiment with techniques to achieve different effects. This is true. And this is one of the best parts about paintings. You always try to find new things to do and say, like, you know, it'd be really cool if I tried this. And I try it, and a lot of times it works. Well, you know, I give it about 50-50 a lot of times. Like, sometimes when it works and it looks so good, you're just like, yeah! It's like this. It's like you rolled like a 20 on a got a critical hit. It's super cool. Sometimes you get a critical fail too, and that's when the primer comes in. You just prime it again and start from scratch. But I usually can get somewhere between about 8 and 17 usually on my rolls, so I usually get pretty good. Not critical fails normally. Let's go back down here, get the rest of these guys all painted up here with this brown. There we go. This guy's next. You want some brown? Here you go. Brown for you. Brown for days. Brown for them here. There we go. And I don't care about the base because we're going to do something with the base later. With this coming up a little bit. There we go. Just right in there. Comes up over here. I'm going to just kind of go to the side, get that a little bit. Now I'm going to get that side. That's the deal. When is the game? Play again. When is the game? Play again? Sorry. The gameplay is going to be coming up Monday. It's going to be the Monday after. It's going to be Easter Monday. Easter Monday. Why not? What better game to play on Easter Monday than Bloodborne, right? Probably should have thought about that one a little bit better. Until right now, I just thought of that. Well, I think we're going to do it. That's going to be the plan. Easter Monday, Bloodborne. Easter Monday, Bloodborne. That's the deal. Wow. Yep, and I even said it. Easter morning is Bloodborne Day. My kids do not have school that day, and I have every Monday off, so that's going to be a good one to do it on. This one, we need to get up here. We need to get some more of the brown onto here. How high did I go on that one? I went about that high. All right, there you go. Say your prayers, Baird. Yep, we're going to need to. Oh, Bloodborne's a tough game. And you know what? I'm really fascinated by how good the game is. Say your prayers. That's very true. When I first started playing, it's like, I don't know if I'm going to like this game. It was, again, one of those things where it's like based on a video game IP, and I was a little worried, but it actually turned out to be a lot of fun. And that was awesome. Let's get this painted in here. Let's get it painted. Now, the good news is I'm going to paint right over that extra black that I put in there by accident. All the extra black, which is cool. I'm going to get over there. Get down around those chains a little bit. There we go. And up into there. Bring this up. There we go. Just like that. And get a little bit more over on this side because I didn't go high enough on there. That's okay. There we go. Almost done. Almost done. A couple more. This side needs a lot. I need more paint than that. Who are we going to call? Paint Busters. There we go. I have to admit, I do more experiments being able to do this live stuff because it's like, hey, I want to get this effect. Let's see how we can do it. You know, we're going to try it together. It's always great to try things together. So we're going to do this just like that. Goes up pretty good. There we go. What game can be more appropriate for Easter Monday than a game built around the concept of dying and resurrecting? You know what? Actually, that makes sense. That's I'll go with it. I'll go with it. Those minis of Solomon Kane look and feel. They look cool. They do. These, especially these ones, because they're more of those bigger miniatures. More of a bigger miniature, which is pretty cool. I think I have one more guy left to do. I do. This guy left. He needs some. He needs some dry brush love here. Let's give it to him. I need to put some more paint out there, though. There you go. All right, it'll take a little bit off, but I'm just going to mash it around here a little bit. Match around here a little bit. Then put it over on this side. Just like that. Go up on here a little bit. I kind of hit his foot, but that's okay. Because we're going to be putting some basing material. The way we're going to base them is just like the other guys. So they're going to have that kind of brown look to them. And this brown dragging on the ground is going to actually, I think, blend right in with the basic color anyway. So I think it'll be really good. Okay, that's good on that side. Now let's get the last one over here. And then we'll be ready for the next color. There we go. And how did I do getting on this side? There we go, just like that. Bring it in a little bit there. There we go. That's going to be pretty good. Got some good color down there. Excellent. Good color, good color. Let's go to the next color. This one. Again, I'm not washing too much of it off because I want to keep it really dark at the bottom. There we go. You know, the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm wondering if I even need that brown. I'm just going to see what happens when we go to chaotic red. Forget that brown. Let's just go right to this chaotic red and see what happens. Because that brown really isn't doing too much. But now this, I don't want a lot of it on there. Yeah, I think it's okay just doing it like this. I don't know if that extra brown adds that much to it. There we go. I think that'll be good. Yeah. You don't need that brown. Look at that. I think that looks just fine without the brown, right? It kind of goes right around this side. There, I think that's pretty good. Yeah, okay. Now, who needs that brown? Who needs that brown? I'm digging that blood-stained look on the cape. Thank you. I am too. I think it'll look pretty cool. I'm actually thinking, I wonder if I should try. I could maybe wear the axe. Oh, it's going to be tough. It'll be tough. This IP is one of my favorite video games. That's awesome, Dan. Awesome. I have not actually played the video game. I know I've said it many times. I have not played this video game yet. I had a hard time of the concept of the dying all over again, over and over again. It did not appeal to me, and so it still does not. Though I don't know why I'm enjoying Elden Ring so much because I die all the time in that game too. Maybe I should try this game if I like dying all the time. Let's see here. Get some on the cape there. Here we go. Over here, just go strike it all the way down there. There we go. There we go. That looks great. Yep, I'm super excited for that. That'll be fine. Perfect. Perfect. That one's done. Next, this guy. What do we gotta do? Okay, let's see what we gotta do. We get him some red. That's the deal here. T. Clark and Dan, you guys are glutton for punishment, apparently. Favorite video game is when you I would probably get frustrated by that. Also, I think I mentioned last time I did this. I've learned out of having that kind of time. I know people are kind of like, really, you have time for about the 9 other things you do, but you're not going to have time for Bloodborne, huh? Nope, not going to have time for Bloodborne. That's the deal. I got time to do painting. I've got time to do board games, but not enough time for that Bloodborne game. Rawr. There we go. The Victorian cosmic horror speaks to my soul. Yeah, yeah, it really has that theme to it. I like the art in it. It's pretty cool art style in the game. I really like it. Okay, we're done with that. Okay, I'm going to also wash this one off quite a bit too. I'm going to get this, ring it around in there a lot, get it dried off best I could. It's hard to get this red off these dry brushes, but we're going to do our best. See, it's still going to come out pink even no matter how much I wash this thing off. There you go. I think that's good enough. We'll let it dry, and then when it dries, it should probably be okay. What do we have left? We got blood on the axe. Okay, we're going to try something. I haven't really tried this very much. I'm going to shake up blood for the blood god here. Okay, this is a super gooey technical paint that is used to put blood onto miniatures. I normally don't use this because I normally don't put gore and blood on my miniatures, but it's Bloodborn, right? So we're going to give this a shot. I'm going to put some on my brush and see how this goes here. So now what I want to do is I want to think about where this guy's going to hit somebody with this axe. I'm going to guess to get him with this side, not that side. So we're going to come straight down. That's my plan. It was just so creepy. It was so tense the entire time exploring very immersive. I found that with Elden Ring as well. Very immersive. All right, where do I want to come down? I think we're going to come down right here. We're just going to come down this axe just like this. With this blood for the blood god, just like that. Just like that. See how it's kind of looking shiny-ish, bloodish kind of thing? We get some more on the brush. We're going to do it again. Oh yeah, it looks great. And then, yeah, it looks pretty good. We're going to keep on going with it. Now I'm not going to go as down as hard this time because I want to kind of get it just more on the top part here now. So I'm just going to kind of get it a little bit more. I want it to look more, oh my gosh, it looks, I had my doubts, man, but oh my gosh, GW does it again. Now the trick to this one, believe it or not, is since you did this side just like that, see how cool that is on that side? Okay, now we want to make it look like that on the other side. So we want to run the paintbrush across the top from where we did both of these indentions. Because when I flip it over, I'm going to want to do the same thing on this side, but I need to see where that blood is on that side. So we need to make sure we paint it so that when we look on both sides, it looks like it's hit on both sides. Oh my gosh, this is amazing stuff. Blood for the blood god for the win. I'm going to flip this guy over again, and we're going to go right from where all of those different, see if I can get a shot here. So you can see, I can kind of see my blood there. So now we're just going to kind of come down with it. Make it look like that. And now I kind of got to go on this side a little bit because I did a little bit over there. There we go. Okay. Oh my gosh, that looks really good. A little bit more on my brush, and this time I'm going to come just straight. Not too much though, just enough. And it looks really gooey too. Wow. Okay. There we go. I'll get a little bit more over here on this side, just so it looks like it comes down in a certain place a little bit farther. There we go. I think that's pretty good. Okay. So, there's our blood for the blood god on the axe. That looks ridiculous. You know what? I'm going to get it all the way down this. I'm going to go all the way down this thing just like this. Maybe that's too much. I mean, it's just what you call having fun. Is when you have too much fun, you do too many things. So sometimes you get a little out of control. I mean, I got a lot of control of the blood. But that's okay. The question is, do I want a little bit over here like you smack somebody in the head? I don't think so. I think we're going to leave it just on the axe head like that. I think that's the deal. Now, another thing I could do is I could, you know what, I could spray some of this stuff on there maybe. No, that'd be a mess. You could spackle this. Oh, I could spackle it. Let's do that. Let's try a spackle approach. I'm going to take this, remember that dry brush we just used? I'm going to put a little bit of this on here and see what happens. This could be a bad idea. Let's see what happens here. Okay. We're going to get a little spackling here. Yeah, it kind of looks okay. Not the best. Wasn't my best idea. Yeah. Nah, oh well, whatever. That'll be okay. I don't think the spackling is that big of a deal, but I've used it on that one, so I'm going to use it on all of them. Let's get the rest of this axe. Here's the deal. No adventure without some mess. True, you need mess. You do need mess, Morga. You do need mess. Now, I'm going to have this guy hit somebody in the head over here. We're going to have him over here. I'm going to have it more over on that side. Just like this. More over there, and this kind of comes in there at the end. That looks really good. Man, this pot could last you years unless you really like blood. There we go. There we go. A little off camera, sorry. There you go. Just like that. Okay, I'm going to put this here before I spill it. Now we're coming in this side. We're coming in hot on this side. So again, we wanted more over on this side. So we're going to have the thicker parts over here, and we're going to come closer over here. We're going to kind of come down a little bit. There we go. Yeah, you speak wise words. I'll show the comment in a second here. So again, we got some on here. I'm going to maybe streak a little bit down in certain places. There we go, just like that. And this one can streak down a little bit more on this side. There we go. Okay, that one's done. All right, we're good. Yes, you're absolutely right. Fatal Papercut has a great plan. He has a great plan here. If you want to apply spray, like blood spray, you can use a toothbrush. And then you're just going to drag your thumb over the top of it and just spray it onto here. But that's a ton of mess. I'm not going to be messy. Not that I'm not already messy. But that's why I'm not doing it. Used it for all my tanks in 40K. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yes, I could easily see that being good for tanks. So yeah, one thing I could do is I could put this Blood and the Blood God on this thing and just flick it right off of this paintbrush. Or if I wanted to, or like you said, a toothbrush. But I'm not going to do that because, I don't know, I just want to make a mess. It's the only reason, honestly. I am still going to do the spackle approach, though. Even though we tried it and wasn't the greatest, we're still going to do it. Because I did on some of the other guy. So, we're going to spackle this blade a little bit. Just like that. There we go. There you go. Just like that. Just enough to show that it's kind of a little, there, bloody there. There you go. Perfect. Yeah, control would be, and that's control would be a little bit of pain, but it's all whether or not that's, if you don't care, then you're good to go. With a tank, oh my gosh, you could spray it all over the tank. It'd be fantastic. There we go. That one's done. We got 2 more guys left to do it, and then all we have to do is the basing, and we're done with these guys. Wow, this turned out really good. Loving it so far. This is a lot of fun. Horns fans, so Barrett, have you gotten some plays of this game in? I picked it up in the Kickstarter, but the rule set wasn't what I was expecting, and I'm not sure if I'm keeping it. I have played it. I like it. I like the three system campaign. I think that's great. I like that it really makes you think. I also like the fact that on your turn, sometimes it's best to almost pass and let the monsters go and try to react to what they're doing. I think that's really cool. I think that's a neat system. I think it's a neat little way to do it. But overall, yes, I've enjoyed it. I've got the same, probably the same as you. I've got like that full Kickstarter, which is why we're doing the one we're gonna do when we do the playthrough is we're gonna do the Upper Cathedral Ward is what we're gonna be doing, and so that's why we're painting these up. We're painting these up for that specific scenario. I have the Celestial Truths here, Chapter 1, enemy set list, right here. You're probably not going to focus in because why would it? That would be awesome if it did. No, it's not going to. Why would it do that? We'll put it down here. So I know my enemies are the Celestial Emissaries, the Church Giant, the Church Servants. That's why we're painting these up, because it'll be really cool looking on the first mission. I don't know what I need for the second mission yet. I should have to look into that. I might have to paint some more miniatures in between, but that'll be okay. But to answer your question, yes, I enjoy the game. I think it's pretty fun. It's still my collection since the Kickstarter. I haven't played as much as I wanted to. I've played a couple of the missions through the base game. I played the one with Colin, and I played one by myself. That's the deal. But sadly, I don't have all of. I don't have it all played yet. Okay. Focused approach is really smart. I may do the same thing. It is. It's fun. I was finding myself dying a lot, and surprise in Bloodborne, right? And once I started trying to more react to the monsters than me trying to take, unless I have an ability to actually, if I have a way of probably taking them out in one shot, then it's best to do it. But if you can't take them out in a one shot, it's almost better to figure out a way you can react to what they're going to do. At least that's kind of how I thought of it. Which is, it's kind of neat because you have that system of knowing what they're potentially what they're going to do with that attack deck. Only having 3 attacks, 2 specials, and 1 ability, or 2 abilities, 1 special. I forget which order it is, but it gives you that ability to be able to react to kind of what they're going to be doing. All right, let's see here. Where are we? Where do we want to hit this guy? Let's hit this guy up on top here. That's going to be the deal. We're going to hit him up on top. We're just going to come straight down on this, just like this. There we go. The comment you made about passing and waiting for the enemies is actually very faithful to the video game, where you want to react and not anticipate. Yes, that's true. I have learned this in Elden Ring. I have a tendency to run in there and try to hit them very hard, and then they hit me really hard, and then I'm on the ground. And I'm wishing I wasn't there. Usually is what happens to me. And the next time I go in, I have to think, okay, that probably wasn't the best plan. Let's put some blood across the top of this axe so I know where we are on the other side. There we go. Just like that. Now, where am I over here? Let's make sure we got the color. There you go. Okay, we're going to get right on this axe. Go straight down on it. This is how you paint this blood for the blood god stuff. It's just straight down on it. It really looks like you're actually hitting the person in the head with this stuff. Blood for the blood god. Oh, yeah. That's the deal. Woofda. That's it. And are you a fan of the video game? I've never played any of the From Software games. Just not enough time for every video game and every board game. This is very, very true. No, I have not played any of the Bloodborne games. There are a couple in here that are watching us today that have, and it's been fun to chat with them and learn about this game as we're going, and kind of the gruesome nature behind it and everything. Hello, painting friend today. Yes, fiend, painting fiend. You are correct, Ryan. I am a painting fiend today. I am trying to get all this done. This is the best. I am having a fantastic time painting these miniatures. Missed the beginning. Did you do the Zenith, Barrent? Zenith. No, I did not do any Zenith painting. I did not do Zenith. The Zenith painting, is that the priming from the top and getting the nice little approaches from the top down, or am I missing what you're talking about? Elden Ring is amazing. Yes it is. Having a blast with that. Wow, I love that tint at the bottom of the figures. Thank you. It's pretty cool. Referring to the tints down here or the tints over here, or where do you all like all the tints? I like all the tints. All pretty good. We have another axe complete. Another axe has got blood on it. We are making some bloody axes right now. We did a fun dry brush here of getting a lot of different colors and then make it look like his cloak is kind of dragging through kind of a bloody mud. That's kind of what we're doing down there. That's the deal. Yes. So no, I did not. I don't ever Zenith Prime ever. That's the deal. Yeah, all but especially on the back of the cloak. Yeah, that's the deal. We started with a white dry. We started with a gray primer, then I washed it, then I dry brushed it all white, and then down here we started with a desert yellow, and then we went to just a red after that to get this effect. That's the deal. It's really cool. Lost power earlier this morning. I'm going to keep over. Oh no, what? I lost power this morning and the house is finally warm, so I'm going to keel over now and get some much needed sleep. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you so much, Morga, for joining. It was super fun. Have fun painting. Oh, thank you. I will. I always have fun painting. Thank you so much for joining. Awesome to have you in the chat, as always. Super fun. That's good stuff. So have a wonderful, warm sleep. Our furnace is working fine. So sorry yours did not. That's no fun. No fun at all. Yeah, all of it but the black back of the cloak. Yes, that is really cool. Love the blood. Thank you very much. I need to paint mine so I can use mine. This is true. You have to paint them to use them. That's the deal. That's the deal. So cool. Thank you. So cool. The blood is easy. It is just a paint. It is called blood for the blood god. That is what we're using. We're all we're using for the blood, and we're just taking it, putting it on a brush, finding out where this guy whacked a hunter. We're playing Whack-A-Hunter here, figuring out where it hit, and that's where we're just putting the blood. I'm just going to say this guy hit him. He got him right in the sweet spot right here. That's the deal. So we're just going to go straight down this brush, this thing just like that, all the way down it just like that. Perfect. And it looks like it hit it. That's fantastic. Furnace is essential in Minnesota as well as a sub pump. Correct. I think our house is built more on electricity than other houses in the nation, I bet. We have air conditioning running 24/7 in the summer. We have heat running 24/7 in the winter, and of course, when everything, all the snow melts, it decides to go into your basement unless you have a sub pump. So that's the deal. More blood on that axe. Now the trick again is we find where we stopped over on this side, and we're going to take our paintbrush and run it along the edge over on the other side up to the point where we stopped on this side. So it really looks like we hit both sides up. And we're going to streak that all the way down. There we go. And I can kind of see it over here on this side now, which is pretty neat. That's the deal. I'm glad that you are stream your painting. It's one of my favorite parts of the hobby. So relaxing, and it's so enjoyable to look at a painted figures afterwards. I agree. I think this is something that when I used to play a lot of board games, it had standees and things, and some of the miniatures were gray, super fine. Then I kind of moved away from board games for a while and did just straight video games. I was really into like World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy 11, the MMO type things, and as I came back to board games, and it was because of Warhammer that I really got into the painting aspects. My friend and I both got Warhammer, and we got into the painting. I watched tons of YouTube videos. Like I always said, check out Rob's Tabletop World. He does fantastic painting videos. Rob's Gaming Table does some fantastic ones. Mel over there does some great work. And there's a lot of other great painting tutorial places out there as well. And I learned almost all the techniques from them. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you right now. I may look like a Blood for the Blood God genius. I'm not. Right before the stream, I YouTubed how to use Blood for the Blood God. I cheated really bad. And of course, Games Workshop themselves had a 3-minute video on how to use it. So I was like, all right, I'm going to do that. So that's how I learned how to use Blood for the Blood God today. So we're going to go back to it here. We're going to paint this axe up with the Blood for the Blood God here. Make sure we got it on the side here where we want it. There we go. We're just going to come down on the axe right like this. This is exactly what he taught me. He taught me to streak it down. There we go, just like that. So I am not revolutionizing painting at all. I never said I would. I never said I will. I just try some cool things, and if I don't know how to do it, I'll look it up. And I encourage everybody else to do the same thing. Look it up. If you're not sure how to do it, just find out how to. Somebody out there knows how, and you can just look it up on how to do it. That's the deal. That's the deal. I do the same thing. Watch the videos makes you a genius. Yes, watch the videos makes me a genius. I shouldn't give away my secrets, my super secrets. I watch the YouTube videos. We all watch YouTube videos. No one expects you to magically know it all. Correct. Then no one. How did we used to do this before? How did we do this before we had this? How did we used to? So, I remember when I was young, I had an Atari 2600 playing games. How did we ever figure this out? Do we talk to we must have talked to our buddies at school to figure out, like, oh, how did you get through adventure? Oh, I did this. Oh, that's pretty awesome. Experimentation, trial and error. I don't know if anybody remembers the game Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark for the Atari, but it was like an adventure game. But there are all these, you had to do all these different things in order to win the game, and I can't tell you why I would have ever thought of trying half the stuff of that game that I was supposed to. But I did. Well, even then, it's strategy guides. This is true. There are strategy guides. But even back then, during like the Atari days, I don't remember too many strategy guides for Atari. That was the deal. Baron figured out source lighting on his own last night. Well, I kind of did. I kind of just picked up a thing and thought, well, let's do this. It worked out okay. 900 numbers. Oh, you could call. That's pretty amazing. I never even thought about that. You could call. Yep, I'm probably the same age as you. I remember when BBS was how we communicated. Oh, sweetness. So it's just kind of, nowadays, even before something comes out, you know everything about it if you want to. But back in the day when I was like, 10, 8, I was playing Atari, and like my friend across the street would be like, oh, hey, I got to this, I did this. Oh, that's how you did that. So we kind of experimented together and tried to figure out how to beat the game. And when you beat the game, that was sweet. And when you beat Raiders of the Lost Ark, your mom takes you to see Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's what happens. And then you have nightmares because people's faces melted in the movie. That might have happened. Might have happened. But still, to this day, one of my favorite movies. and now I can watch the faces melting, and I don't have bad dreams. And if you think that's spoiling the movie, then it's too late, man. This movie's been out for a while. Go watch some melting faces. That's the deal. There we go. We're done with this. Yes, this is a great time to be in the hobby. The sharing of information is never better. True. There's so many people out there doing awesome things that you can find somebody and talk to people about this. I mean, even going, I think Adepticon just happened, which is it shouldn't say miniatures thing. It's a miniature war gaming event. I always wanted to go to Adepticon when I played Warhammer, but I never did. But you see some of the videos at the time. It was almost just pictures, so like people showing pictures of on the video. They didn't actually have video cameras doing it. It was kind of funny. But seeing some of the stuff that was painted out there, it's like, oh my gosh, I could never rival with anything like that. So, and then people were able to learn from those people, and they brought that techniques home, and they would talk about them on podcasts and things, and even YouTube, and then it kept on going. It was really cool. And we're going to continue with our miniature. We have all of our miniatures done. All of them are done. We have all these guys done. All of them are done. Here we go. Slide them all in. So what we need to do now is we need to base these guys. That's going to be our next plan. We're going to base them. What we're going to base them with is the same thing I based these stuff this afternoon with. Now, I'm not going to do anything special with these guys. We're just going to base them. That's the deal. Speaking of nightmares, Barrett, how did you sleep last night after learning the shroud on the Star Beast isn't the shroud? Oh, true. So I think I have that mini. Let me grab it. I have it here somewhere. Oh, it's right over here. So I thought that the Blood-Starved Beast had a shroud on him. Sadly, T. Clark has decided to make me I learned the hard way that was not the case. He does not have a shroud on him. What he has is this filleted thing going across him as I drop all of my map tiles on the ground, and that's totally fine. He is right here. Here's the Blood-Starved Beast. I remember where he was. I was using him in my D&D campaign. What better place to have a Blood-Starved Beast than in a D&D campaign, right? He was going to be one of those. So the Blood-Starved Beast, I believe, is the one he's talking about. I have him. That is the deal. I thought it was a shroud on him. I thought it was a shroud on him right here, but I was wrong. He says this is filleted skin coming up his back, as I almost drop him on the ground as usual with my clumsiness. Out of control. So this is him. This was the one we did originally. This is the original campaign I did when I played this originally. This was back when I did the basing with sand and things of that nature. But I don't do that. I'm not going to do that this time. But yeah, I thought this was a shroud. Nope. Matt, good to see you. Thank you for joining yet again. It's always awesome to see you here. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, Blood-Starved Beast. He's something else, isn't he? The mini itself is really cool. I like that one. That's the deal. Well, yuck. What time? What a time. Yeah, you joined just in time to hear about filleted flesh. But we're done talking about filleted flesh. Now we're going to talk about sand on bases. We're going to talk about basing our miniatures. And we're going to use this stuff. I used this stuff on the other guys this afternoon, so we're going to keep on going with the Badlands. We're going to have a unified base color base for these. So this is what the base is going to look like on these. It's going to look like this. It's going to kind of have this neat little chalky appearance to it, and I might even stick a piece of grass on it. We'll see. Probably not. Maybe I will. We'll see. I don't think so. We'll see how this goes. Really, the basing looks so good. I'm curious to see what you're going to do differently. I'm going to shock and amaze you by not doing too much. I'm just going to paint this on there. That's all I'm going to do. All I'm going to do. You're going to see how this works. This is pretty cool. I'm going to use this brush. That's kind of all banged up. It's not exactly a dry brush yet, but it'll be good. Those are looking really good. Thank you. Thank you very much, Matt. Yes, we've got these guys done. Their painting is done. So we got the blood on the axe. We've got the kind of the same thing we did with the robe on the other guys. We kind of did it on this guy too. I think that's pretty cool. And now we're going to put some of this basing material on. So in here is this like really thick pasty type paint. And it's already got like all of the chalky components of mud and yuck already on it. So we're just going to take this and we're going to scrape it onto the base and just push it into place. That's going to be the deal. Oh, hope I didn't get blood on the blood god around that guy. He almost lost his arm. Standing too close to the guy with the axe. Let's get these guys out of here. We're just going to push this right onto the base just like that. Now you do want to put it on rather thick. You don't want to skimp out on this stuff. The reason why is because wherever you put it on really thin, you're going to know it. It's just going to look like you painted the color of this on. It's not going to have any of the texture, which is what you want. You want the texture. So you want to make sure you put it on decently thick. That's going to be the deal. Let's get some more out of here if I can find it. The paint pot's getting a little low. Got to go to the store, get some more. I'm going to put some over here. I'm going to put some over here. So I'm just kind of putting it in the area of the base that I'm going to use it. And then I'm going to push it around. That's the deal here. So we're going to kind of push this into all the little areas here. If we get some on the cape, it's not the end of the world because, well, the cape is also dirty too. And it's just being dragged through the mud anyway. We'll take this stuff, bring it over here. We're going to be really careful not to hit anything with it. Again, if we get it on the feet, I'm not too worried because, well, after all, he's walking in the mud, right? And that's the deal here. So now what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to push it into this area back here. I don't want to see any gray. That's the deal. But it's this thick paste of a paint. And like I said, you want to keep it on there thick. That's looking pretty good so far. Now we got to get over here where we push this stuff down. I'm going to push all this down too. Get all the nick and crannies here. Moving around, I'm going to kind of push it up. I'm going to need to get more over here, otherwise it's going to be too thin, especially on his feet. It might be a little thin on his feet, but that's okay. Yeah, it's going to be too thin on his feet. Let's just snag a little bit more. Let's try to use it a little bit more. There we go. Just like that. Got a little bit more. We're just going to shake it off my brush near his feet and just kind of push it onto the base. Just like that. There we go. I need some more on this side. And get it right here and then push it down onto the base. It's going to be hard to see. I know there's this axe in the way. I'm sorry. Not to mention I'm probably not even in the camera. I know I've hit that cape, but don't really care. I need a little bit more. He fell on his face. Sweet. A little bit more on the bottom here, right in the corner here. I don't know how we're going to get there. We're going to have to put it over here and then push it back into there. Just like that. There we go. I think that's going to be pretty good. Just like that. Now we have the rim of the base. Rim of the base, I'm just going to take this paintbrush and paint right on it. Just like that. Around the outside. We're going to go around the outside. Here we go. Just like this. Spin the miniature. Go around the outside. And if it has some of the sand on it, that's kind of cool. Makes it look kind of neat. Down there and down on here. It doesn't even really matter if I paint the back of this base because you're never going to see it. But we did anyway. And there you go. That basing's on there just like that. I'm painting Cursed City Minis at the moment, and I'm at the basing stage. I want to go with Dark Evil Graveyard Soil. Look. So hopefully I can find it on YouTube for that. Okay. I'll see what I can do. Here's the deal. I have... Oh, no. What did I do with it? Did I throw it out? No, I didn't. Okay, this stuff. This stuff right here. This stuff is called Astro Granite Debris. It's the same stuff as this, except it's gray. Now, it's not going to look like tombstones when you're done or anything like that, but it'll look kind of like crushed debris, like a city street being broken up. I don't know if that makes any sense or not, but that's what it's going to kind of look like when it's all said and done. Once this dries, it'll look like this, but it will be with that granite look to it. It'll be like with the, it'll have the, I have a miniature with it on. Give me 1 second, I will show it to you. It is actually in reach, which is an actual surprise. Most of the time, nothing I have is in reach. But this one is in reach. It is right here. I hope it's in this box. I used it on my This War of Mine minis. I used it on that. So you can take a look and see what you think before you go and buy it. Let's see if I can find one. Here is one. Let's see if I can find a better one. Okay, I also use snow on these, so you're not going to be able to see it too well. But here we go. Okay, so here's the mini with it on there. So it looks like this with this like gray look to it. Like I said, very similar to the stuff I'm using, but it looks gray, a dark gray. is what it's going to look like when it's all done. Let's see if we got another one. I went a little overboard on the actual basing materials on these, I look. So here's another look of it. And I dropped her on the ground. That was, well, that's par for the course there. For me, I drop a lot of things on the ground while I'm painting. I think I've dropped more guys on the ground than I've actually painted. So here's, I don't know if that helps. There you go. But like I said, I also have some snow effects on there and things like that. So take it as is. This is before I started using contrast paints too. So this is more just the GW or the Army painters with some washes on them. That's all this is. Again, slop and drop is the way I do it. Slop and drop, and now I push on the stuff. So we got this stuff pushed on. It's ready to go. That's the deal. Hope that helps. Hope that helps. Again, I'm not an expert. I just try things and hope they work. That's the deal. Thanks for the recommendation. I'll try it. Good. Yeah, give it a shot. Great. I might give it a wash to darken it up a bit just for the look that I'm looking for, but that's really close. Cool. Cool. Yeah. I mean, I'm all about trying to find, like, I think people call them, is the hip word now hacks? Is that I try to find painting hacks? Is that the deal? Am I supposed to say that? I try to find painting ways of making it a little bit easier for myself. So that's one of the reasons I started using this stuff. So he's done completely almost. We're just put him over there. Now I might not have enough to get these guys also done because there's a lot of base going on here. But we'll see. Because as you can tell, there's not much left in this pot. This pot's getting kind of low. Let's see what we can do here. We're going to finish these guys off first. So we've got our paint. We're just going to push it right into the little spots here with our paintbrush. Being careful not to hit the mini as much as I can. If I hit it again, like I said, not the end of the world. I mean, he's walking in mud. What does he expect? Now, if I was smart, I'd have like a hunter's hat I could put on this base or something, like he took the hunter out or something, but I don't have anything like that. That'd be too cool. I'm not that cool. Let's see here. I had somebody ask me, I don't know who it was, if I like protect my minis after I paint them, like there's these like hard coats you can put on and things like that, and no, I don't. I used to, again, when I played Warhammer, I was like, oh, I gotta put this hard coat on and keep these guys protected forever. And then I thought, the more I thought about it, I was like, you know, for how much you actually play with the mini, it really isn't going to do that much damage to it to move it around. Again, you're looking at time. Is it worth your time to spray that mini or buy the enamel to put on it or whatever? Or is it okay just to let people play with it? And I just let people play with it. I don't mind. Again, mainly because I know I'm not going for any kind of golden brush award or anything. I'm just putting paint on a miniature and throwing it on the table. That's the deal. So I don't really need to... the protection of it isn't the end of the world if it gets a little... And most of the minis, even if I look at them now, they really haven't shown any wear on them at all. That's the deal. So again, just pushing that stuff all over the place to get it onto the base. Another YouTuber uses hobby cheating, which is my go-to term. Hobby cheating. That is awesome. I'm going to have to do that. So I'm hobby cheating this base building stuff here. So instead of mixing up a pot of sand and getting some Elmer's glue out here, or I'm sorry, PVA glue is what they call it all over the place. We call it Elmer's glue here. I just push this paint on. Now, it might actually be almost as fast to do it with the Elmer's glue and stuff. But I actually like the end result with this better than the just sand on the base approach. Because then I feel like I have to paint the sand on the base, you know, to really make it look good. I don't know. And there's people that will prime the miniature before basing it or after basing it. No, before they base it and then prime it. Maybe I should talk better. I don't do that either, if you've noticed. It's not something I do. All right, there's another one done. Good. 2 for 2 so far without screwing it up. 2 for 2 without screwing it up. Love it. And keep on going here. Next guy is him. Push his painting on here. That's the deal. keep going. I'm going to be having a guest on with me on Sunday. That's the plan, to paint some miniatures with. I don't know if he's going to be painting miniatures, but we're going to be talking. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm hoping that if anybody has questions, he'll be there in the chat to answer. He's another YouTube guy I know. He said he'd like to join me, so I said yes. And he has a game. I got a game I'm going to put up for painting on Sunday, which is going to be fun. And I think we're going to talk about that game. It'll be really cool to hear what he thinks. So, special surprise on Sunday. That's the deal. Come on Sunday. Because my goal now is to do a painting thing every Sunday. But so far it's spilled over into Monday. Double Monday painting video here. Because I'm just having so much fun painting these Bloodborn miniatures. Super fun to do. That's the deal. Totally unrelated, but did you get Nemesis Lockdown? Did I get Nemesis Lockdown? Oh my gosh. I have Nemesis Lockdown. I've done, I think, 2 plays of it already. And on top of that, I just finished recording, probably going up tomorrow, the first mission for Lockdown Untold Stories 3 will be going up maybe tomorrow or Wednesday. Whatever I can get, if I can get, depending on if I get enough time tonight after I get done to this to edit that video. But I'm loving Nemesis Lockdown. Fantastic game. I'm loving everything about it. We've painted all the miniatures for it. I did a couple painting videos for those on how to paint Nemesis miniatures. I did that. That was really awesome. We had a lot of fun doing that. That is fantastic. He did. Yes, I did. I did get Nemesis Lockdown. I got everything for it too. Well, no, I didn't get everything for it. And I think about it, I did not get everything for it because I didn't realize until afterwards that there was a playmat for the board. Totally screwed that up. And on top of that, I missed out on the medic again because I'm a moron and didn't realize that it was not part of the all-in pledge again. So I missed out on the medic again, which is kind of funny. So I'm missing the medic, and I'm missing the neoprene mat boards that I should have bought. Now, of course, they're probably astronomical, but oops. Oh well. That's the deal. It's okay. Sometimes you miss out on some stuff in it all, and it's okay though. Not the end of the world. It seems like an improvement over the base game. Okay, because my YouTube feed suggested I watched your old Nemesis Untold Stories video from 2 years ago. That one was awesome. I really liked Untold Stories. If you watch the number 3 one, I actually mentioned that was probably one of my favorite experiences playing Nemesis, was being able to do that Untold Stories thing. It was just such a different approach to it because it gave you these different objectives to do as opposed to just like, okay, find all the things in the ship or bring an egg to the escape pod, stuff like that. It really had a completely unique way of doing it where you're triggering different things in the game based on even moving into a room triggered something in this comic. So it was really cool. And sadly, Untold Stories 2 was not cooperative, and that made me super sad. I wish they would do an Untold Stories like every year. I would pay like $25 for a new comic every year that would give me an Untold Stories campaign missions. The campaign itself is really pretty quick. It's only about 4, maybe 5 missions, depending on how well you do and what you do. And I don't know what Untold Stories 3 is going to hold. But I did do the first one already. I'm probably spoiling it. I beat the first mission. But it's the first mission. I don't think I've ever lost a campaign game first mission before. Unless maybe Gloomhaven. I might have lost Gloomhaven now I think about it. But I'm not the first one that lost Gloomhaven's first mission, I don't think. So yeah, check out the Untold Stories Volume 1. That was amazing. I really liked it. The Lockdown game is also amazing. I did a playthrough. I think we've used every character. Oh yeah, we did. We used every character. We used the, what is it? We did the first 2 guys. We did 2 guys on the main board. Then we did 2 guys again on the main board, but with the other intruders. Then we did the other side of the board with the last. So I used all 6 people in Nemesis, and we saw all the different parts of the board. Sadly, I totally messed up one part of the other side of the board, and I feel really bad about that. I forgot to roll the noise die when I was outside. So I didn't get to see many of the outdoor events because I was a moron and forgot to roll a noise die. But that's okay. He's done. We got another guy done. Super done. This guy's done. Put him in the done pile. One guy left. And then what we have is these like glowy dudes. And I might have enough paint. I think I do have enough paint for him. And they're going to be a lot easier to do than these guys, because I don't want to... This is a little bit tougher to get this paint in here than it is for those smaller dudes. It's going to be super easy. Let's get this in here, into there, into the crevices. And keep working around, keeping it thick. Nemesis is one of my favorite games. Love Nemesis. I work with a channel called One Stop Co-op Shop, in case you don't know, in case people don't know. And I think I'm the only one on that channel that likes Nemesis. Or at least the only one on that channel that does any videos of Nemesis, that's for sure. I don't know why nobody else likes that game. Come on, that game's super fun. It was actually one of the ways I actually met those guys was because of Nemesis. Steve from the One Stop Co-op Shop was do a podcast on it. He saw that I did unboxing. I've done multiple videos of it. And so he asked me, hey, you want to do a podcast with me? I'm like, sure. And we kind of got to talking, and we've been friends ever since. It was really cool. That was kind of how I met him. So Nemesis bringing people together. That's the deal. Oh man, Nemesis is top 5 for me. Yes, I agree. Definitely top 5 for me as well. Super love that game. Super love that game. I need more of this paint. I'm trying to put more in here so I can push more underneath here. Push it real good. There we go, right there. That's my that's how hip I am. I know that song. Don't know that song at all, actually. I think my wife knows that song really well. My wife's more into that kind of music than I am. I'm not into that music. More of a punk rocker myself. Kind of sad. I shouldn't say sad, but I mean, I'm not into like the mainstream stuff. There we go. Boom, done. We just have to go around the outside here. And the base is done. That one's done. All the big guys are done. There we go. At the end I'll have a walk by. We'll walk by with all of them. That'll be the deal. Did you know Colin before One Stop Co-op Shop? No. I did not know Colin before One Stop Co-op Shop. I met him because of One Stop Co-op Shop. I don't know. I've told this story a few times. I don't know if everybody's heard this story. The reason I started my channel is because of one of the reasons was him. Cthulhu Death May Die in their top 5. Both are such good games. I'm funny story about that game. I'm probably the only member of the One Stop Co-op Shop that does not have. I don't not like it. It's just not one of my top 5s or top 10s or anything like that. It's a cool game. I enjoy it. I don't have a problem with it. I got to paint that big, huge, giant miniature, which was a ton of fun. But the game itself, it's cool and all. I think I like having smaller campaigns, but I don't like just a one-off like that. I think my biggest problem is I need to play it more. I've only played it twice, and Colin and I have both decided that we enjoy games, but when it comes to recording the games together, we find we get distracted from the game itself, and we don't really get to experience it. So if you've noticed, we have stopped kind of recording games together. We did a lot of it a while ago, but we stopped doing it because we want to play the games together first and then record them. And sometimes by the time we get to recording it, we've already recorded it separately ourselves or something of that nature. Though I'm hoping, my goal, we'll see if it happens, is to have him over for live plays of Oathsworn when that finally comes out. We're going to do potentially like the story might be a recorded video, and then the gameplay might be a live play of him and I playing it here live. I think that'd be really cool, because then once into the story, I can see what miniatures are, pull them, paint them, and get them ready for when we actually do the fights. That would be really, really cool. But back to the original question. Did I know Colin before the One Stop Co-op Shop? No. I only knew him as the One Stop Co-op Shop. I knew him as a person that has done a lot of playthroughs of board games, of Kickstarters. And that happened to be games I was gravitating towards at the time. And so I was kind of like, oh, that's kind of cool. Let's see what he thinks of this game. So he does a video of a game or something. I forget which game it was. He's done a lot of them. So you kind of lose track of which ones he's done, which ones he hasn't. He's even done this game called Lord of the Rings. He's done that a couple times. That's a joke, because if anybody knows, he has a ton of Lord of the Rings living card game videos out there. He rivals my Kingdom Death in the amount of them he has. Anyway, still going on with my long story. This is not a short story, so get something to drink and listen up. He was doing games, and I was listening to him, and all I heard over the course of playing some of the videos and watching what he was playing, because of course I was interested in picking some of these up, like say Folklore. I needed a playthrough of that. He's done playthroughs of some of the other games I was interested in at the time. Oh, I hit this hand. I got to get that off right away. And then I heard a few of the words over the course of it say, I'm from Minnesota. Okay, now I know he's from Minnesota. I have a job. Oh, he has a job. So this isn't just his job as making these videos. I have 2 kids. He has kids. He has kids. He's doing a channel. He's got a job. How can he do all that? There's no way. And so then, interestingly enough, he did a top 10 of his favorite dungeon crawlers. And an outcry of people said, you should do Myth. He said, I have it. I don't think I'm ever going to do it, he said. I reached out to him as creepy YouTube guy and said, I'm from Minnesota. I have Myth, and it's fully painted. If you would like to borrow it for a playthrough, feel free. His response? Nah, I think I'm okay. I really wasn't a big fan of the game. Okay, no problem. I mean, it was really, and I can understand that. He was kind of like, I had no idea who you were, and we weren't even going to be in a neutral location. You were just going to come over to my house with a game and just give it to me to play. I'm like, yeah, it did seem a little weird. And of course, we laugh about it now. Then, after he said that, I thought, well, I've got Myth, and I've got it fully painted. Why don't I do a playthrough of Myth? If everybody wants to see this game on YouTube and he's not going to do it, I bet I could do it. So then, of course, what I do, I looked up YouTube videos on how to record videos and make them kind of cool. And so that is where it all started from. I started my channel because he did not want to do Myth on his channel at the time. And that is why I started Meet Me at the Table. That's the deal. So, there is your why did Baron start his channel. That's his past story. He started it because Colin didn't want to do didn't want to do the the Myth game, and that is if you go back and look at all the far as you can in my channel, Myth was the very first game I did. I did that game, and then I did, I want to say either Folklore or Seventh Continent next, one of the two. I don't remember which one I did next. Folklore was the first game I got by watching your playthroughs. Still love it. Folklore is such a good game. It is such a good game. I really need to get back to that game. You're absolutely right, Steve. We need to get back to that game. We got to get back to a lot of games. One of them we're getting back to. We're going to get back to Bloodborne. This sadly might be the last Bloodborne playthrough I do because, like you're saying, there's so many other games I need to be playing right now. Why are we going back to Bloodborne? Not going back to Folklore. Not going back to Shadows of Brimstone. Not going back to even Myth. Myth is a fantastic game. I need to get all these games to the table. I am the only human that I know that does YouTube videos that actually likes Myth, I'm sure. That game sadly suffered from a very poorly done rule book and a poorly kind of managed group. But, I mean, I'm sure that I don't know, of course, the ins and outs of how everything works. It's now owned by Ulysses Spiel, I think is that their name is, they pronounce it. And I'm hoping, I did a playthrough actually of that. I did a playthrough of their rendition of Folklore, what they're planning to do with it. Or not Folklore, sorry, Myth. What they're planning to do with it. It was okay. I think there was some stuff from the old Myth that was better. And new stuff that they were doing, which was kind of cool too, but we'll see how it all transpires. I mean, they had better moving system, but their treasure system was just horrendous. Everything dropped treasure, and there was too much treasure over the board. Because one of the beauties of Myth was puzzling out whether you could get the treasures to drop. In order to get a treasure drop, you had to deal 3 damage to a boss, take out a boss, I should say, or you had to kill 3 enemies in 1 shot. And I thought that was kind of a neat little puzzle to try to conquer through. So, I need to say they took that away in the new one. So, we'll see where it goes from there, though. Maybe it'll get better. Wow, I've got a lot of paint for this base. This is out of control. Look at this. It's ripping off. I think I went out of control on this one. Let me take some of this and move it to another miniature. Move it over here. There we go. And that'll be the deal. Oh my gosh, it's all over my hand. It's everywhere. The problem is if it's on my hand, I got to watch out because I don't want that brown to get onto the miniature that I'm actually holding. There we go, just like that. I'm waiting for them to reprint Folklore. You might sadly be waiting a while. I don't know if they're going to reprint it. But I know they have it on their website. I think you can buy it on their website. It might only be like the standee version. The standee version, and they have a miniatures version. And I'll tell you, the miniatures in that game, I've used more miniatures for that game, from that game for Dungeons and Dragons, than I've used for any from any other system I have. They've got so many fun miniatures that work for Dungeons and Dragons. It's ridiculous. Out of control. There you go. That guy's done. Stopping with him. He's out of control. So, yeah, I'm not sure if you're going to reprint that one. The most common thing Barrett says when a game is mentioned, we need to get back to that game. I do say that a ton. Because I play a little bit of them, and then I got to get back to them. And I got to get back to them. They're so much fun. I'm really excited that I actually made a full Kingdom Death playthrough. I thought that was really good. I got to wrap that up, and that was really cool. Not to be indelicate, but that stuff doesn't look like mud when it's wet. No, it doesn't. But... and when it's dry, here, I think it's kind of, this stuff's kind of, no, that's not dry. Where's the one I did first? See over here? Here's what I did first. See back here? Maybe that is the one I did first. No. Yeah, that's the one I did first. But as it dries, it kind of turns more into a mud thing. Oh, that's what I forgot to do. I got to do that really quick before things got out of control here. I was going to put some basing material on those dudes that are running around here. We're going to try this. Again, we're trying stuff. I've got this moss. This might be a little bit too big. We're going to give this a shot. It's going to be like maybe some creepy moss on this. Let's see if we can do this. Put my paintbrush down and get my tweezers here. So we're going to use some of this moss. So it's just this little moss stuff I got. I got this moss. We're going to place it down on the ground here, just like this. Kind of looks a little bit like green twigs and stuff. We put that in the base, just like that. And we're going to let the paint be the glue. That's what we're going to do. Rip this up a little bit and put some more in here. We're going to string it all the way across, just like that. There we go. So he's got kind of a string of moss going with him. I think that'll be okay. Maybe. We're going to give these other guys some moss too. We have unified moss. And put this one through the legs. Now I'm going to put it around the side of this leg. There we go. Just like that. I want that down. I don't want it really to stick up. And I don't want this big twig part of the moss. I want just these little fine parts. Just going to push that in a little bit on the base like that so it goes into the paint. There's a little bit more. Ooh, it's kind of splitting apart. Here we go. Let's throw it in there. Come on, get in there just like that. Let's throw on the base. Oh. Yeah, it looks dumb. Again, it's all about experimenting sometimes, seeing what works, what doesn't. But once it's, oh boy, now it's out of control. Now I got, there we go. It's kind of coming up. Perfect. All right, we'll see what that looks like when it's all dried. See if that looks any better. It looks like something more yucky. Yeah, it does. Oh man, that all this talk of good games and that we have, that we just don't have time for. I'm in the same situation. It just makes me cry inside a bit when I think about it. I know. But as long as we have fun day to day with my hobby efforts, I'm okay with that. Agreed. Agreed. Yeah, it's actually one of the other reasons I started the channel is I had all these games and I wasn't playing them. And I'd see if my wife would want to play and she'd be like, yeah, I'd love to try that game. And then she'd come downstairs, and my wife's a teacher. She teaches, at the time she taught first grade. Now she is a learning lead, which she kind of teaches teachers how to teach. But she would come down and be like, oh, I'm really tired. I don't think I can play games. Is that okay? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. And it just kept happening. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start a channel and just play the games I got, because I keep getting the games and I don't get a chance to play them. And we have a game group that come over every Friday, but that was like every Friday or every Saturday. My friend was also a bartender at the time, and so he still is. So he's not always available on the weekends because bartenders have a tendency to work a lot on the weekends. So again, I was stockpiling these games over and over. Never got a chance to play them. So again, another reason I started the channel. I was like, I got to find a way to play these games. So I figured if I could play them on the channel, and then as more and more I played them, and the more I got to getting awesome comments in the comment section, it just kind of became this whole community of awesomeness. So now I've got a great community, all of you, that hang out. We paint miniatures together. We chit-chat together. I play games. We comment on the games. I even started, that's one of the reasons I wanted to get into live plays, is so I could start commenting with people at the time while I'm doing it instead of post time, even though it's still fun to discuss things afterwards and being able to like interact on the comment section of YouTube. But what I really need to do is probably start a Discord channel, but I haven't really gotten that far yet. Again, social media is not my strong point if you haven't noticed, because I don't have any Facebook, I don't have any Instagram, I don't have any of that stuff. I'm not, again, there's only so much time in the day. I could spend time doing that, or I could spend time painting, or I could spend time recording videos. I mean, that I have that is not family time. Family time is always the first and most important thing. So you gotta do family time. But after family time, like when my wife goes to sleep, then it's painting time. It's recording time. It's hobby time. It's video game time. There we go. Slowly getting this one done. This one is done. Boom. Oh, no, missed the back. So you learn a lot about what I did and how I started. And who is who in the world. There we go. That guy's done. I'm going to put some our stuff on it now. Well, the nice thing is that your video kind of attracts people who enjoy what you enjoy. So that makes a good community. That is very, very true, Horns fan. Exactly true. Exactly true. There are a lot of... It's funny, my wife just today, as I was... because I did the earlier painting video, she didn't get a chance to watch it. But she was watching the Sunday night one. She goes, you know what? It's the group that comes and hangs out seems so fun and so neat to be around and hear from all the time. I go, yeah. The people that comment on these videos and hang out during the live chats and stuff are really cool people. And it's fun to hear from them. That's true. And I think that's just I would like to say, I'd like to take it a step farther and just say I think that's just the hobby in general. We have such a fun hobby that I think the community of the hobby itself is what really makes this such an attractive thing. All right. And I said all that with my head up here, not down there, where the paint is and where I put this cool looking moss on this guy. Again, is that going to match with the tile that we're playing on? Probably not even close, but that's okay. That's the deal. Ha! Matt, yes, thanks for sharing. I am sharing. This is true. I'm sharing a lot. Whoop! But we're on our last miniature. We're going to get him done, and then we are going to head to bed. And then I'm going to go to work tomorrow. But it's been a very enjoyable Monday. I have spent it with lots of people on the chat today. I got to do some in the afternoon. So some of the people from Europe and over that aren't in the same time zone as now or asleep right now were able to hang out and chat during the painting. It was really awesome. Really awesome. And now we're back again. And this is really the last video I'm going to do for painting until Sunday. So I'm not going to be doing any more. We're not going to get to the heroes. I might have to do the hunters out of camera. But maybe I'll get them on camera. We'll see. I just want to get all these guys done. Because these guys are cool. And if all else fails, I've got some of them painted up already that we could use for the hunters. I've got a couple hunters painted up that I used last time that I really liked. I thought they were really cool hunters. But I'd like to use some new ones. That'd be awesome. I have to admit, I also got one game solely on the basis of one of your videos. Machina Arcana. Oh, that game is awesome. I love that game. It's really a nice thing. Your wife said, couldn't agree with her more. Yes, very true, Steve. Very true. Very true. Very true. But yes, and Machina Arcana is fantastic. One of my favorites. One of my favorites. And the guys that do the game are pretty awesome. I've never met them, but my interactions with them through social media, I guess not social media, but just emails and stuff like that has been phenomenal. They're fantastic. They're really fun. They really seem to take their hobby and really enjoy what they're doing, which is awesome. I know they enjoyed making the game, and I think they enjoy like talking about it and being part of that game. He wishes I did a live play a while ago, and he wished he would have been able to be there, but he wasn't able to make it. All right, we're gonna run this We're gonna go around the outside here, and then, lo and behold, we are gonna be coming to the end of yet again another painting video here. All we have left to do is put a little moss on this guy. And we're going to say goodbye to him and goodbye to all of these things here. I'm going to get that. What should be enough to put on this base. Just rip it up a little bit. What do you guys think of the moss? It's okay? Now, look, I'm not sure what I think about it. I think I'm okay with it. Put a little bit over here. I think I'm okay with it. Maybe sticks and twigs would have been a little bit better, but I don't have that. Maybe a rock or two, but I think this is okay. I think it's okay. Normally don't use this moss unless it's on bigger miniatures, but I think it'll be okay on this one. Let's put it all along the side on that one. Oh, it's coming off. It's coming off. Oh, we got a problem. Houston, we have a problem here. All right, let's get that back on the base. Push it into the paint. There we go. There we go. All right, we're going to do a little drive-through here. So here are 3 of the minis that we got finished this weekend, I guess you could say, even though it's Sunday, Monday. So over the course of 6 hours, we were able to paint, maybe a little more, maybe 7 hours, we were able to paint up 4, 8, 12? Can I count? 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? Yes, I can. 12 miniatures, and I think they all look pretty awesome. I think they all look awesome. I think the winner is this guy. This guy by far is my favorite thing we did. This guy is just incredible. With that lantern, it looks so cool. He's my favorite by far. But this guy's not far off. I think we have a pretty cool bloody axe. I think that axe is pretty cool. I tried a little bit of that Nurgle rot. If you can see it right here inside his bandages, I think that looks kind of cool. And even though this looks wet, it actually is dried paint that looks like that. Pretty cool. So those are the ghost dudes, or the giants, I should say. And then, of course, we have our little dudes here that we just finished up. The newest ones to us here is this guy. I think we're good. Bill, awesome to see you yet again. Are you still painting, sir? I bet he's still painting. Bill, if people do not know, is a professional painter. He paints minis. One of his professions is miniature painting. Does a great job. But I have just finished. I just finished, Bill. We got all these guys done. We got the giant is done. We put some of the blood on the axe. Good to go here. We finished up these guys. I tried to do a little bit of this basing stuff. I don't know what I think, but there you go. Yes, I'm still at it. Good. I'm glad you're still at it. That is great. I am actually just finishing. Those are great. Thank you, Matt. Thank you so much. We are done with Bloodborne. We are ready for the first chapter of our game. For those of you that are going to be watching it, we are doing, here it is. This is what we're going to be doing coming up. Next week, we'll be playing this live. The Upper Cathedral of Bloodborne, the board game. It is one of the expansion scenarios, so I think it'll be a lot of fun. Just like every other thing I do, I have no idea what's coming, so we'll see how it goes. And that's going to be the deal. Hopefully the stream has gone well. If there's any hiccups or anything, please let me know. I'd always like to know if something's going wrong. Hopefully nothing ever does. Who knows? But there we go. Thanks for another fun stream, Barrett. You are welcome. Oh, enough video to maintain. Fantastic. I think I got something about YouTube being mean to me. We'll have to work on that. These are going to look amazing, the game. Thanks for sharing the hobby time. Bloodborne? Yes, Bloodborne. That is what we're playing next Monday if you're wishing to join. I think watch. It'll be a fun game to watch. Colin and I played a playthrough of it when it first came out, and now we're returning to it. So there we go. That is it. I am done for the night. Thank you all, everyone, for joining. Thank you all, everyone, for being in the comment section. And thank you all for being such a wonderful community. It is always a pleasure to do anything with each and every one of you every day of the week. We had a wonderful... This is 3 videos in 2 days that were just so much fun. We painted up all our Bloodborne miniatures. We're ready to go. And I think this is going to be great. This is going to be lots of fun. So... How now going to Patreon for you? Well, that'd be awesome. Yes. Oh, by the way, if you're interested in joining my Patreon, I have a link in the... I'll put a link in the description of this video. I might not have. I don't know. I'm not really good at putting things together a lot of the times. That you get a chance to not only vote on what we're playing, what we're painting, and what potentially we might be playing, painting, or even being able to help out on naming or picking who we're going to use in some of our playthroughs. Right now I'm doing the Nemesis Untold Stories 3. And one of the characters in there was picked by the Patreon. We are using the Android as one of them. So that's going to be the deal. And that stuff will continue through that. And I appreciate anybody who is part of that. That is fantastic. And good night, Matt says. Good night, Barrett. Steve says, thanks, Barrett. You are welcome, Steve. And thank you all for doing this. And if you're excited to see what comes next on either the painting table or the channel itself, then you know where to meet me, right? At the table. That's right. Meet me right at the table. We are going to continue to always have fun. Again, thank you so much, and I appreciate everybody.